I will start now with the last presentation of the SIforAGE results. The new messages, I would say this was a crucial part in the project, given that it was a mutual learning and mobilization project, and in that sense, it was quite clear from the very beginning that how we were spreading the message was going to be a key aspect of the outcomes of the project. So, what is the aim of these new messages that we have been trying to construct all over the project's development? Well, changing the images of older persons, but changing the image of older persons in two senses, both on the sense of how society might perceive the fact of getting older on the aging process, in order to make them understand that the life course perspective is actually more closer to the reality of aging, and from the other part also about how the elderly people themselves participate on the process of constructing an image about themselves. And then the question is, why we have done this? Well, we have done this because we considered from the very beginning of the project that overcoming the stereotypes, it was a key factor, a core issue in order to build a society for all ages. Nevertheless, a society where the stereotypes are conditioning the perception that people have of other individuals imply or end up implying discrimination, ageist attitudes. So we basically assume from the very beginning of the project that if we aimed to construct a society for all ages, that wouldn't have been possible just with practical changes, formal changes in society, with recommendations regarding the rights and duties that society have towards their elderly people, but we also needed to change their perception. And how have we tried to develop this change? Well, through active and passive awareness activities. What does this mean? Well, from one side, we have basically tried to transfer the message of breaking the stereotypes regarding the elderly people by activities that aim this particularly. But also we have tried to do this by implementing these new ways of understanding the process of getting older, the aging process, in all the activities that we have been developing all through the project. So then, which have been the ways that we have used in order to develop this? Well, they have been three blocks of new messages, or three blocks of forms of spreading these new messages that the SIforAGE project has tried to construct all these last 4 years. So first, developing new and own methodologies. This is to say, we have tried to create new activities, new forms of communicating the message of a society for all ages. This has implied issues as diverse as the Images initiative developed by Santa Casa de la Misericordia and University of Lisbon, the group from the University of Lisbon, where they have tried to change the perception of the elderly people in the younger generations. We have also developed a short plays that you will have the chance of seeing today for the first time, the photography exhibition that has been released and exposed here at the Caixa Forum today, and many other activities. Basically, we have tried to say, okay, we have a message to spread, let's find also innovative ways of spreading this message. The second way was spreading the word through the social media, because nowadays it is undoubtedly the best or the only way of doing this. But we also realized that if we tried to spread such an important message just from the level of a European project, that was not going to be successful. So we very fast realized, the consortium partners, that in order to spread the word, we needed to be in close contact with those institutions, those organizations that are working every day all around Europe, and I would say all around the world, with the elderly people. Otherwise, trying to spread the word from a top-bottom process was definitely not feasible. So that's another knowledge that actually might apply not only for projects on the field of aging, but also for other European projects. In order to spread the message, we have to be close to the people, and that's not always feasible just from a European level project. So The third way and the last way that we have used is by helping others to spread it. This is to say, we have been organizing, of course, projects and activities within the SIforAGE project that have aimed to spread the message of SIforAGE, the message of a society for all ages. But also we have been organizing joint events with other institutions, as I said before, not just on the online level, but also face-to-face activities that were definitely more effective in terms of spreading the project's word. So, to close up, and this is the last block, so I have tried to make it as dynamic as possible. Well, what kind of day has it been the last 4 years? What have we learned? Well, I would say that we have learned 3 things. One, that I have already said, that if we want to change society, we can have many research, very important research being done. We can have policy recommendations, but all those very necessary issues couldn't be applied or couldn't be properly developed if there is not a society that actually has interiorized the message that changing the perceptions of the elderly people in order to achieve a society for all ages, it's a duty that we all have. Not only the elderly people, not only those who are working on the aging field, but the society as a whole. The second lesson that I would say that we have learned, and this is more in a personal sense, is that the elderly people, it's not a sector of society, a group of society that is apart from us. No, this is life course perspective. We all are at some point getting older. So making the society for all ages, it's a matter that not only needs the implication of the full society, but that it affects the full society, because at the end of the day, we all are getting older, which is definitely it's a positive issue. And as Professor Tejada has said this morning, this is an achievement that we have reached. So let's make that this achievement is positive for everyone. And the last lesson that we have learned within the project is that even if in Europe we have a huge diversity, and that's something that within the consortium has been an issue from the very beginning, this diversity can be channeled in order not to create a standardized message or a standardized proposal for the whole European Union countries, not, but we have to create some message that could be adapted to the realities of each place. So, going back to what I have said previously, it couldn't be done without the direct contact of those who are actually working with the elderly people and trying to make them the reality, a reality that is actually part of a society for all ages. So, thank you very much.